Hey guys, and welcome to my 2020-2021 classroom tour. This is going to be a classroom tour COVID edition because you will notice that lots of things look different than they have in the past because of different procedures in place because of COVID. First of all, as I give you just a pan around of what my room looks like, I wanted to answer a few things you might be wondering. First of all, I teach 6th grade ELA, English Language Arts, at a 5th and 6th grade center. We function pretty much like a middle school. Students rotate classes and everything, but we are 5th and 6th grade only. We have been back in person teaching for about a month. Our first day of school was August 24th, so we went back about a month ago, and we have a lot of procedures in place to keep us in person learning. To be honest, it is exhausting to keep up with all of it. However, I feel so blessed to be back in the classroom learning with my students every single day. I know a lot of teachers don't have that opportunity right now, and I feel really blessed that I get to teach in person with my students, even though it is really tiring keeping up with all of it. So first of all, I'm starting out in the hallway with this bulletin board that I share with my classroom neighbor who teaches 6th grade math. We both love our dog, so it only made sense to have a dog-themed bulletin board. Entering into my classroom on the left side, I have this wall of storage, which is really nice. Right there are student open lockers, is what we call them. In the past, this is where they stored their backpacks. They are required to carry their backpacks with them this year. So instead of dropping off their backpacks in the morning, they just carry them with them. So instead, each of my students has a large brown paper sack that they keep in their open locker, and this is for my homeroom students. And they store any supplies that they have that's extra that they might need throughout the year that they don't want to carry with them in their backpack every day. And then in the cubbies, I used to store notebooks, but I can't do that either. So instead, I store one textbook in each cubby with a clipboard, and I keep them numbered so I know which students in which classes have touched and handled things, and I can sanitize things really easily. In the first cabinet, I have extra curriculum. This is just like some older curriculum that we don't really use anymore, but I still have. And then in the next cabinet, I keep extra textbooks that I don't need at the moment. Typically, my class size is usually like an average of 29 to 30 per class, and this year my largest class is 24. So I have some extra textbooks. I have a basketball goal that I use for review games, which sadly I haven't really been able to use this year. And then the next cabinet, I have novel studies. And then the cabinet next to this one where the basketball goal is, I have novel studies as well. So those are different novels. Some of them we read throughout the year. Some of them are just older ones. I have a cabinet full of dictionaries in case we do an activity where students have to use a dictionary. And then back here we have my back counter. So I have these black mailboxes that I use for my homeroom class. If I get notes from the office, I can send them home that way. And then I have my turn-in drawers for each of my classes. I teach 3 blocks of regular ELA and then 2 blocks of an enrichment ELA, which is like an elective class. I have this sign right here that says "Don't quit your daydreams" and a pencil holder. Really, it's a straw holder, but I actually use it for pencils and it works quite well. I have a lamp. I got that from Walmart. On these back shelves, I used to keep a lot more supplies, but I can't really have community supplies. So instead, I have a pencil sharpener, a sign from Hobby Lobby my mom got, Kleenex, and some hand sanitizer. Those are files for absent work if a student is absent. And that is all that I keep on the back counter. In the first cabinet up top, this is a little bit embarrassing, but I have a bunch of containers and bins that I'm not currently using, but if I need them, I have them. In the next cabinet, I have a lot of craft and art supplies. I have a bin for mounting supplies for back to school, like putting things on the wall, craft materials. I have a lot of liquid glue for whatever reason, and scissors, and then a bin of dice. In this cabinet, I have Kleenexes galore. I have so much Kleenex. I just have accumulated it throughout my years of teaching. And then in this last cabinet, I have Clorox wipes and hand sanitizer, which I'm going through like crazy. We've only been in school a month, and I don't know how much longer I will make it. On all these cabinets, I have these little Ray Dunn inspired labels that I got from TPT. And on top right there, I have a sign and a wreath, just for decor. And then on the bottom right here, I have these drawers where I keep extra supplies. Students are supposed to use their own supplies, but it's inevitable that students don't have something. So if they need it, they come back here to get what they need, and I just sanitize it. So in the first one, I have colored pencils. This next one, I have highlighters. This next one, I have crayons. This drawer is so satisfying to me. I always separate things by color. It just helps students find what they need a lot quicker. I have tape. The next one has glue sticks. We use both tape and glue sticks for our interactive notebooks. The next one has pins, which I don't really use those that much. Rulers and erasers. And then the last one I can't open all the way. It has Ziploc bags, but I rarely use those Ziploc bags, so it doesn't really bother me that I can't open it unless I move my filing cabinet. Again, just I have labels on everything. And then on the bottom cabinets, this first one has notebook paper, markers, extra folders, and notebooks for students who move in and maybe don't have a composition notebook. In this cabinet, the only thing I have are the storage boxes that I used to use on my desk when they were in groups, and this is where we would put all of our supplies. I cannot have community supplies this year, and I cannot have my desk in groups, so I don't need those this year, but I really liked those when I used them. I have overflow of Kleenex in this cabinet, as well as a bin of just some paint. I use that for a project my students do around like the holidays. In this last cabinet, I have a set of whiteboards, a bin of just some games, extra brown paper sacks for students who move in, some extra Ziploc bags, and some tablecloths as well. And that is everything that is stored in this back cabinet. Right here I have a filing cabinet with just some decor on top. And then I just kind of decorated the side of the filing cabinet to make it look a little better since it's just like this big, large black box. My filing cabinet, I have it separated into quarters. There's 4 drawers, so I just labeled them Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And I keep a file for everything I teach during that quarter, and I put extra copies in there. This is the window, and it actually looks out to like a courtyard, and I love the view. I think it's so pretty. I have just a little sign right here and a little fake plant. And then moving over to this side of the room, I have just a gallery wall with some signs and things. And then up there in that plug, that is my classroom doorbell that I use as like an attention getter. And then over here, I have a bulletin board in my classroom with just some kind of teal burlap around it and some wood paper. These signs right here I actually made. I'm thinking about putting them on Teachers Pay Teachers. I don't know if anyone would be interested, but those are the 12 power words that I just kind of refer to throughout the year, so I like having them there. Flags, and then over here I have just a chair that came with my room and a pillow that says just one more chapter. I keep a vocab list to the left, and then up top I have these alphabet posters that I got from Miss Fifth on TPT, but I put like a different background on them so they look a little bit different than the way you like download them. I have this happy birthday cut out right here where I put students' names if their birthday is that day. I have this light right here that I use if I really want students to be extra quiet, like if we're testing or something. A magnetic plant. These Chromebook shortcut cards, which I absolutely love. My students refer to these a lot and they love having them on the board. Below this whiteboard, this has been the best way that I've found to display student birthdays with multiple classes. It's just this banner that has the months, and then they put their name on a clothespin with the date they were born and clip it on the month that they were born, and it's just an easy way to keep track. My students always think it's interesting that the months spell out Jason. I don't know. They always comment on that. And then in between my 2 whiteboards, I have my smartboard. And then on the other side, I have a sign up at the top that says choose kindness and kindness will choose you. The rest of the alphabet posters on the other side. And then I have a place where I just put the date. And then I have my objectives. And a couple years ago, I just printed those out and laminated them all after typing them all up, and it was a lot of work up front, but it's so convenient now to already have them all done. And I just switch them out depending on what we are doing that day. I have a calendar. I debated putting a calendar up because I teach 6th grade, so it's not as necessary, but they actually refer to it quite a bit, so it's nice to have. I have this poster that looks like a piece of notebook paper that I can use to show students how to label paper if I'm wanting it labeled a certain way. Block battle used to be a competition I would do between my classes, but I haven't started it this year. And then I just have these cute little magnetic plants. I really like plants, if you couldn't tell from my classroom. And then on this side of my room, first of all, I just have my eraser. That's where I keep extra objectives. The remote for my doorbell. I have these 2 Ray Dunn signs that say, "Work hard, stay humble." This cart right here, I just keep some things that I need every day. Up top, this is supplies I need to access pretty frequently: dry erase markers, magnets, tickets that I give out. This blue container has extra calendar pieces, a composition notebook that matches my students to use as an example. Today is what we're doing that day, and return is work I need to return to students. These ticket boxes just hold tickets. I hand out tickets, and then I do a drawing on Friday for different things. And then this is the most important thing in my room this year. This is a bin full of all of my necessary cleaning things. Rags. I have 2 different sprays. One I use for Chromebooks, one I use for desks. Clorox wipes, trash bags because I take out my own trash. Germex. This is a bin of dirty rags. I do not have to clean them myself. I turn them in and the secretaries clean them, and then I pick them back up, so that's really nice. A sign that says, "In this class we are family," and the TV. This is where they play morning announcements. In this corner of my room, I have my pride and joy, which is my classroom library. I've worked really hard the last 6 years to collect books I think my students will enjoy. The top shelf, I don't keep books because students can't reach, so I just have some decor things, some signs, greenery, these read letters. The E doesn't light up anymore, so when I have them on, it just says rad. Just some more decor, and then my books are organized with colored labels, and I do it by genre, and I actually have an entire video on this process, and it's in my teaching playlist, so I will link that down below if you're interested to see more about this, but I do have them labeled by genre. It just makes it really nice for students to find things that they're interested in. I have a few just picture books down there at the bottom. And then you will notice that I have these bins that say day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. That is because if a student checks out a book, if they bring it back, it has to quarantine for 4 days. So I just move it to the different bins until it has quarantined for 4 days, and then I can put it back on the shelf. I have this basket of extra headphones right here with some Clorox wipes because if they borrow them, I have to clean them. I have a color key that tells what the labels on my books mean, so that makes it easier for students to find what they're looking for. This side of my room, I'm not going to go in depth of what I keep in the cabinets because this video is getting really long. So in another video, if you're interested, maybe I'll do a teacher desk area, organization video. If you're interested in that, give this video a thumbs up and I'll go more in depth. But I just have some pictures right here, some cards that I've received from students. I think I went ahead and opened some drawers, but then decided that I wasn't going to go through everything, so I have expo markers in this drawer. And another one I have colored paper. Sometimes when I do notes and stuff for their notebooks, I print it on colored paper. So I will probably go more in depth in another video, but that was just kind of a quick sneak peek. This is my teacher desk area. I have this sign that I need to put a picture on, a lamp. These cords and stuff are kind of a mess. I don't really know how to make it look any better. A sign, a wonder book, hand sanitizer that only I use, my extremely dusty computer that I'm realizing needs cleaned. This is a sign that says Chaos Coordinator that I got from a student. I love having a cordless keyboard. I forgot what it was called for a minute, and mouse. A little apple, and it's kind of funny what I keep in there. I actually keep little treasure boxes for when they lose a tooth. That's what's in there. I have a picture of my sister and my nephews and I, just some pens, highlighters, a clipboard. This is my teacher toolbox that I love. It has like some Ray Dunn themed labels on it. I use this so much. I don't know how I ever did not have a teacher toolbox. This quote I love: every child is one caring adult away from being a success story. I have extra masks in case I forget mine. Masks are required for both my students and myself, so that's if I forget mine. I didn't go into my desk just for time purposes, but on top of my desk I have just a sticky note holder, a thing full of Jolly Ranchers that I give out as prizes, my Erin Condren teacher planner. I designed my own cover this year and I really, really like it. And then I have like a desktop calendar as well. And then on the other side of my desk, I have a little deal of paper clips, another plant, and just a holder that has like pins, TV remote, smart remote, scissors. And that is my desk area. Like I said, if you're interested, I'll go into the organization in those cabinets as well. I just didn't in this video to save time. I have some metal ELA letters up there. And then my school uses a program called 7 Mindsets, and so I have those right there. My ceiling is a little leaking, as you can see. So these are the 7 mindsets that we kind of go over throughout the year, and we give awards for students who demonstrate those mindsets. I just have some motivational posters right here to kind of go along with the 7 mindsets. I have this burlap file folder holder that I keep with extra worksheets each week. I'll just put the extras in there. More Clorox, and those are some alcohol wipes back there. I have a sign that says throw kindness around like confetti, and more hand sanitizer. This one I keep by the door because they have to use it when they walk in and when they walk out. This rainbow drawer organizer is where I keep my copies for the week, so I just have them labeled with the day of the week. It was Sunday, so Monday stuff was already in my today cart, but I just have what we are doing. And then if we do, this is just like a quick tip, but if we do like task cards or something, I keep those in these little photo boxes, and I just stick that in the drawer. So yeah, I just keep my copies for the week. Like I said, this was Sunday, so my Monday stuff was already in my little white cart. And then this is the front of my desk. I just kind of put my name on it and some border just to make it look a little nicer. And this is the view when you first walk in. And then right next to my door, I have a sign out sheet and a little clock so students can see what time it is to sign out. I used to keep passes on that hook, but we can't do passes anymore. Students have to carry their own individual pass because we can't share hall passes, so they have their own. And then here is just one last pan around of my room. And then lastly, here are my desk for the year. Typically, my desks are in groups of 4. If you follow me on Instagram, then you have seen lots of pictures of my classroom and what it typically looks like when my desks are grouped up. I miss my desk being in groups so much. That's probably the thing I miss the most. But because of procedures, we have to have all the desks facing the same way and spaced out as much as we can. I will say they are not 6 feet apart, but they are as much as I could get them apart. And it's a little hard because they're triangular shaped, but if you look from chair to chair, they're actually spaced out quite a bit. And then lastly, I have just one last pan around of what the entire room looks like. So this is my room for the school year with the COVID procedures in place. Like I said, I feel very blessed to be back in the classroom. If you have any questions about anything that you saw in my room, or any questions about how things are going this year with teaching, feel free to leave them down below and I can do a video where I answer those. Also, if you're interested in seeing a more in-depth video of my teacher space and the cabinets and drawers in my desk area, just let me know and I can definitely do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great school year. Whether you are virtual or in person, you are still doing a phenomenal job as a teacher. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!